Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Forsaken Council Open Mic Season 2, Episode 19. I had to check that. So the raid's going on, and I think everyone's having such a great raid. It's very smooth, very easy. Everyone's posting the forum saying just how great the raid is. So tonight, I guess that's going to be our main discussion piece. And I'm joined by a wonderful panel. I've got the lovely Robin. I've got Peter, although maybe you call yourself something else there. Nick, Jeff, George, and a wonderful meth lab Brian is with us.
What's up, guys?
Science?
Science.
The uncertain science.
Yeah, we finally figured out what goes on in that closet, guys, and it is not appropriate for children. But that's another show. So there is free spots open, guys. There is. If anyone watching the show says, "Hey, I'd like to go on and call in a Dick Live," then join us. And we just had one join there. Imre, how's it going, Imre?
He heard you.
Did I hear what I think I just heard from Liam? I just no,
yeah, you did.
That sounded a little bit odd. Okay.
Well, he likes subs, and you know how subs are shaped, you know.
Yeah. And first he can't find the button, and then that little Freudian slip. Awesome. All right.
Okay, cool.
We are 2 minutes in.
We're 2 minutes in. So, guys, the raid is going on. I guess I could ask each of you. I'll ask each of you one by one. Firstly, your experience so far, and then we'll go into the raid after. So I'll start from the furthest left on my screen, which is the wonderful biggest drug dealer in his area, Brian.
The one of one, the first and last. It's going pretty well. I'm just hitting A sets because I didn't want to try S sets because I figured with how poorly they've been tuning these hulls and armors and mechanics recently, I didn't feel like they would have properly tuned the 100 for anything. Hitting A sets almost to 60 million. That's where I'll stop the new stuff and tokens. Maybe I'll try to push and get the MX Prime and the heavy mortar. But it's been going fine. I've just been doing what I've been doing last raid. It's been going pretty well, except the missiles on ships are insane. In all the 80s, if you ever let one of the super fast Zoes stop and hit you, I estimated the blueprint damage of one of those missiles on one hull to be about 43,000 damage. So there you go. But whatever.
Seems legit.
It sounds fun. It's like the old charged armors that they changed and didn't proofread the numbers for.
What fleet are you using, Brian, out of curiosity?
Monos and grid, because I had it done and I figured it would be the best hull, and it's not being that much faster than Zealous and Sits in my trials.
Okay.
Whoops.
And welcome, Dennis. Okay, let me move along. Well, Dennis, you're next in line now. If your mic's working, you there, bud?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, cool. I can hear you. Welcome. So, how is your raid experience?
The first 2 days, miserable. And then last night I listened in, and I tried a few things. I refit all of my monos, took all my charged decks I had on another fleet, took them off, put them on the monos, and they work better.
So you refitted all of your ships in the raid?
Yes, I used every token I had.
Jesus.
In a little coin, under 100 coin.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a discussion last night that it's funny. It happened to me today, where you go out of the 100 and come back in, and it's totally fixed without moving the fleet. Happened to me 5 times in a row. I turn on easy vid and leave my sector, it doesn't happen. Now I'm getting ready to go back to my sector and see if it happens in my sector only.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got it to do it. I turn on easy vid and it stops.
So you're saying you would go into the target and then come out and come back in and it would be repaired?
Yes, 100s.
Oh, okay. Is that a known glitch at the moment, or?
It was. I don't know who I was on with last night. Who was on? You? I think we were on last night.
They know They're trying to fix it. I guess they haven't been successful.
Yeah, but I'm getting ready right now to try it in my home sector. So.
Okay, and so you obviously using monos and grid mono.
Yes.
So charge armors are an absolute must, then, yeah.
Yeah, and as soon as I got to 10 million, I bought the M, and I put that on my flagship.
Okay. Okay. All right. Let me move along to the wonderful, polite, well-spoken, never swears, George. George.
So okay, my my raid, I actually had my mute button here on, so my apologies. I started off doing the A sets. I had the build that I had in the article, and I was really upset because we can't stack. And I started doing a couple of tests in the hundreds. I wasn't hitting them full on. I was just going in to test certain things, and I was finding that the Zealous was actually outperforming the Gridiron, just in terms of a CM ship. It has, you know, the inherent buff of 5% accuracy, and then it has that duality countermeasure, and it has more weapon slots, so it performs better as a tank, which really is a little depressing. I was expecting more out of the grid. I just like Dennis. I ended up spending a whole lot of points and getting a whole lot of tokens to refit my mono fleet to do the hundreds, because the last build was not up to par now. And I found that for some reason, charged X armor actually helps with missile damage. So I'm assuming that it's a 2 damage type of weapon. But I started, I think the first 100 that I tried was the first day, and I died entirely horribly when I tried to do the whole thing. I didn't touch them again until yesterday. Did a couple of them, got it down to like 3 hours, and then I did a bunch of refits today, and it went from about an hour and 45 minutes to I got it down to around 30 minutes now. It's a coin. It's 30 minutes or 35 minutes or less each 100 now. But that was with a lot of refits. I mean, a lot, like, I should not have had to spend that many tokens in refits just to get this to perform as well as it does now. Mm-hmm. And from what I'm seeing, you know, I don't think it's as stable of a platform as the Empyreans. I think the people that built the Empyrean fleets are actually probably have the top tier hull. I think for some reason that is the top tier hull for this raid set right now. And that's a little disconcerting. Overall, it seems the icebreakers with the Visagos is probably running second unless you tweak your mono fleet build a lot, and then it would be the mono fleet second, and then the icebreaker third. But it's interesting because the speed up mechanic isn't something that you can actually use. So it's just there. It actually makes things a little bit more difficult sometimes. And the gridiron is just not as tanky as a tank should be, I think. I would love to see some tweaks done to that. But other than that, it's gotten much better. It's much better than the first day. I mean, the first day I couldn't even do the hundreds. Now I got them down to 30 minutes, so that's a plus.
Okay, good. Well, you sound in a much better attitude than Tuesday about that.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I am still salty about changing a mechanic 2 days before the raid. I mean, no notice, no tokens to help compensate for changes that you have to make. I mean, I'm still salty about that. And most of the salt is because I feel like I screwed over a lot of players. I mean, anybody that copied that build, man, I am so damn sorry, because hell, I had I known. But yeah, I 2 days before the raid just was horrible. On top of that, that compounds the issue of the charged armor build time changing without having a grace period. So it was just it was one of those perfect storm things. And Tuesday ended up being the perfect storm thing.
That compounds the issue of the charged armor build time changing.
Someone has got to stop.
Richard. Yeah, no, it's okay. I was just muted, Richard. We could hear a backfeed, Richard, from you.
Yeah.
YouTube. Just need to mute YouTube. That's all.
Yeah, but no, yeah, I'm in much better moods. I'm still salty about certain things, but yeah, Tuesday was just a perfect storm. I mean, everything just just fell into place for a nice little rant.
Mm-hmm.
It's out of my system. I'm good.
It doesn't matter. Okay, no worries. So let's move on to the wonderful Imre. Imre, you been out stealing targets this raid, or
There's nothing to steal.
no?
Begin with, you go in there, you exit, it's fully repaired. What do you steal?
Oh, yeah, you got hosed.
We found out it's not a glitch; it's an anti-Emery.
Anti-Imre. Yeah. Well, at least kicks her thinking ahead. Right.
I mean, I can talk about that now if you like.
Imre, so what have you been doing?
Well, I was pretty pissed about the changes. Like, they change something and then they change everything all over again before the raid. So it's like constantly changing and you can't really prepare for anything. I was pretty pissed. I was getting ready to just keep this raid done. I'm at around 100 million points for 0 coin. I'd like to keep that figure up. We'll see about it later. But I'm running short on time this time, so I may have to spend a few gold. Is this frozen?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Liam might have frozen though.
Did we lose Liam again? Oh, if this kills the show, I'm gonna murder him.
This kills the show.
I think we maybe paused on we lost Liam, and I don't know who was next in his lineup, but I know we got Brian, we got Dennis, we got Emery. Jeff, you're next then. Jeff.
Yeah.
There you go. How's your raid? How's it going? What's you been doing?
I had the George mute problem. Well, all I can say is it's a good thing there's nothing I really want, because it's going slow. I can't coin the repairs this time, and it's just, so when I make a stupid mistake, which are plenty, and I lose my whole fleet, then I'm done until it repairs, which is many hours usually. So what? Yeah.
So are you sticking with A sets overall, or?
Yeah, A sets. I'm trying to use the grid mono. That seems to work. I actually managed to get through an 85 for 3 minutes of damage because I didn't make any stupid mistakes. So.
Yeah, I got the A sets. I finally, those actually aren't that bad from what I've seen. That's what I was hitting the first 2 days with the because I was stacking. I'm sorry, I'm lazy. That's how I built the things. I wanted to stack them. I should not have as much difficulty driving those as we are compared to, say, like the Empyreans. The Empyreans are easy as hell to drive, and our skill hull is, a little more difficult. So yeah, I ended up stacking, and the A's were good. And I think if people are having problems with the hundreds, the A's are actually a viable option. There's a bunch of videos on the page. Robin has a list of them in a pinned post that people can look over and pick, a path that they like, and in the fleet that they like, and do it for minimal damage. It's just getting into the habit, and having a slow repair like you're doing in between kind of slows down the muscle memory thing, but
I'm doing better on my alt account with Citadels than I am with the mono.
Yeah. All right, so Nick, how's yours?
Yeah, it's going slowly. I'm hitting A sets. I did try a 100, died, so it went to bed. Got up this morning, had about 20 minutes spare, so I thought I'll hit a few A's before I go out. Leave the fleet repairing, hit every single one, insta repair. Come home tonight.
What are you using?
The A's. I'm using grid iron and 4 monoliths.
Okay, so you're sticking to
with charged armor.
Okay.
And I'm still not prepared to attempt another 100. Basically, I'm just not happy with the damage, and I'm unhappy that I built the so-called skill hall, which is worse than the ice breakers and worse than the generalist tool.
Yeah, that's a very common theme that I'm hearing. Although the people that have the Empyreans, like Ren, are gloating like crazy.
Oh yeah.
But that's a whole nother story.
No,
I got the wrong build on those.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I had to refit the monos and the grid a lot to do the hundreds in a reasonable amount of damage time in my mind. So, I don't know. Peter, what are you using, and how's it going?
I'm using the same thing I did last raid, Zealous and Empyreans. I did tweak the Zealous tank a little bit, and it's working a lot better than it was last raid. Though, to be honest, as a lot of people have said already, there's really not that much in the raid that I really want to get, so I'm just using it as practice for when the Forsaken mission targets change.
Yeah, that's something I want to discuss later on, because I think that's something that a lot of people are overlooking in this raid, is that these are going to turn into the FM. Who just came in? Oh, Hefe. How you doing, man?
Oh, pretty good. And yourself?
Pretty good. How's the raid? How's your raid going, and what are you using?
Same thing I used last. Well, I'm hitting the A sets. I'm knocking through the 83 and 85, prepping with the icebreakers and the long distance stuff and the arc missiles. And then I'm just finishing off with Monoliths or Punisher Citadel. I don't really see a difference between the two at this point. But it's going well. I haven't been on a lot. And I am going to be fascinated when this ends up being like a 12 or 15-hour show.
You noticed that too, did you? Yeah.
Well, now that Liam's gone, he's the only one that can shut the stream down.
Yep, and he hasn't gotten back on, and now we got 10.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll get a text in a little bit.
I'm sure.
So, Robin, my girl, what's up? How you doing? What you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. Yourself?
Oh, same old same. How you doing?
I have been having fun. I have been playing with I tried the Gridiron Monolith and the regular monos, and wasn't real happy